channel. If you are new here, because I know I do have some new subscribers, welcome to my channel. I am so glad that you are here and going on this super fun YouTube journey with me. I have a super exciting, fun video for you guys. Kat over at Perfectly Kat and Roxanna at Life with Roxanna and the Sisketears, I believe, put together this collaboration. It is a massive collaboration. It is the quarantine craft party. So basically what that is, because I mean everybody knows we are all on quarantine right now because of this virus that's going around. Although technically I am not on quarantine. Thankfully, I have been fortunate enough to still be able to work both of my jobs. So I'm not exactly on quarantine, but I wanted to join the party anyways. Basically what this is there's 32 of us collaborating together. 32 people doing this quarantine craft party. And what that is you were supposed to take items that you have in your house, because if you're quarantined, you can't leave your house. You're supposed to take things from your house and make a Disney inspired craft. Now, for me, that was absolutely no problem whatsoever. I am a craft supplies hoarder. I will see a craft and I'll be like, oh, I can do that. I will try the craft or buy the stuff to do the craft and then decide, nope, I can't do it. One of those things being embroidery. Let me tell you how many times I've tried to start embroidery. A lot. And every time I'm like, I can't find the last hoop that I bought or something like that, and I buy a new one. So I actually have 3 embroidery hoops that I've had at my house just sitting there doing nothing because I can't figure it out. But I am going to use this for my craft. So I will show you the items that I'm going to be using, kind of explain to you what I will be doing. This will probably be a little bit longer video because I will also show you kind of how I did it. But to start off, I'm going to show you what I'm using. So the first thing is I have these 3 embroidery hoops. These are just wooden embroidery hoops, and I'm actually just going to be using the inside hoop. So I will just be using that for my craft. But there's these. I also I do a lot of crocheting, and that is something that I actually do and I can do and I can finish. But I had gotten these 2 colors of yarn, this blue and purple, because it reminded me of, they're like Little Mermaid colors, kind of like you have the water and then you have the purple for her seashell. So I was going to do something with these, and I actually think I used some of it. I don't remember what for, but so I'm going to wrap these in the yarn. So the little hoops will be one color, the big hoop will be the other color. And then I got this hemp material that I have used to make like bracelets. And I have ribbon galore that I use for my ears. And paper that I bought a long time ago to do something, I think, for Thena's birthday, and I ended up using like 1 or 2 pieces and didn't need this. So again, craft supply hoarder. So that is the stuff that I will be using. And now we're just going to jump into the process of making my item. So let's go. Okay, so to start my crafts, if you would like to make your own, you're going to start with your circle, whether it be an embroidery hoop, or you can use like one of the thicker bangle bracelets. Anything really that's a circle that's got a little bit of width to it. So I am going to take this apart, and I am just using the inside of my embroidery hoop. And then I already went ahead and just wrapped some of my purple yarn into a ball. That way it'll be easy to kind of feed it through, because all you're going to do is you're going to wrap this first. And what I did is I wrapped the 2 small ones, the 2 small hoops, in the purple, and then I wrapped the larger hoop in the teal color. So to start this, I just kind of hold this here. I don't tie it. I just hold it there and just kind of wrap it around, and that'll kind of tuck the string under the wraps, so you don't have some big huge knot just kind of bulging on your wrap. So what this will be when I'm done is it will be a dream catcher, and yeah, we'll just put it all together and you'll see what it looks like in the end. But for right now, you guys don't really need to see me sit here and wrap this forever, because that'll be a really long video that nobody wants to sit through. So I'm going to go ahead and take these, and I'm going to wrap this all up so it's completely wrapped, and I will be back to show you the next step. Okay, so after you have your ring all wrapped up, you're going to cut a little bit of the excess. You'll cut the excess off, leave a little bit, because then you're going to kind of take it and just kind of wrap it around a little bit to finish it. And what I kind of did to finish it is I kind of separated a little bit and kind of tucked it in there and just kind of pushed them back together so that it held it in there a little bit, at least until we start the next part. Now, if you've never made a dream catcher before, this can get a little confusing, but you'll use I'm using like a hemp string, but you'll want to just pull some off. You'll want to make sure that you have enough to do the whole thing, which these are small, so you don't need a ton. Go ahead and cut that. So then you take this, and I tie it over where you tucked in that string, because that will kind of help hold that down in place as well. So make sure you double knot it. So then from there, so you have your string attached, you will pull it under and kind of go around and like loop it through this little hole where you just wrapped it. So now you have like a little loop. Pull it tight. And however many you do on this one, that's how many you'll want to do on the other one. So there's what that looks like. There's a little kind of hole there. So you're going to do the same thing again. Loop it around and pull it through. And then you'll go through that little space that you just created. Pull it tight. Keeping it tight, I think, is the hardest part. So you can actually just loop it through. There we go. So just wrap it around and just go through that space. Loop it. Okay. So that is what the first row of the dream catcher will look like. So from there, you're going to work inside these little spaces here. So you're going to go in and just like along the ring, loop it through to create that loop. And again, you want to make sure that it's kind of tight. So same thing, loop it through. And pull it through. So I am going to finish looping this real quick, and I will be back to show you where we go from here. Okay, so now that I'm at the end, I have this little space left. And what I decided to do with the last one is I actually decided to add a little bead in the middle of it. So all I did was just loop it through and pull it down to the middle. Then I actually looped my string through the side, turned it over, and then looped the string back through the bead, just so it kind of holds in place. So then I kind of went through some of like the little hole spots. I tried to keep it as close. So I just try to keep it as close to like the joined in areas as I can, so that you don't really see too much of it, and so that it kind of just blends in until I can get it up here to where I started. Then I will tie it on to the starting point. If I can get this yarn out of the way. So it's super easy. It doesn't take very long to do. especially once you kind of like get a rhythm down. Okay. So you should now have all 3 of your pieces, which I do. So I've got the 2 shorter ones. Let me move this up. So I've got the 2 shorter ones and the 1 larger one. And I'm guessing you can kind of see where I'm going with this. We are going to actually take these and we are going to tie them on to here so that we have a little Mickey head. So that's about what it's going to look like. And yeah, so let's do that step. To tie it, I'm just going to use more of the hemp string. And you're going to want to tie it fairly well to make sure that it doesn't kind of move back and forth. So we're just going to start with this one here. And it's almost going to be like sewing. You're just going to kind of go in and out. I know it's kind of hard to see. Probably not going to need all of this. So we'll just tie it here. Alright, so I tied it down, and now, like I said, we're just going to kind of just weave in and out so that it'll hopefully keep it from moving all around. Hopefully being the key word there. I've actually never really made anything like this, so we're gonna see how it turns out, you guys, together, because that's what I do. I see something and I just want to wing it and try it. Sometimes it works out. Other times I end up with 3 embroidery hoops that I'm never going to use. Until now. So, you know what? That failure worked out in my favor. Okay, so now I'm just going to tie this off with the beginning of my string. And the cat is going to try and steal my craft. Not cool. Okay, so now you're going to cut off the excess. And then I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. And I will be right back. Okay, so my ears are officially attached. They're not as far apart as I would have liked them, but we're going to go with it. So the next thing that I'm going to do is I have this aerial silhouette that I cut out of my Cricut. You can easily like print it out and cut it out from online, or if you're amazing at freehand, you can do that as well. I, however, am not, and that's why I have a Cricut. And I'm just going to glue her right in the center. So I have my hot glue, and I'm just going to glue. That was almost my finger. And I'm just going to put her right there in the center. That one little dot should hold it because it's not like anything super heavy. I'm going to try and let it dry so it doesn't stick to the table. And then there's one final step to this project, and then it's done. So I will be right back while this is drying for that. Okay, so for this last part, I'm going to actually move this off so it's out of the way for right now, and move the hot glue gun back. So this last part is the ribbon. So this part you can pretty much do however you want. I am going to kind of start with the middle, and I think I'm going to like decrease it as it goes along. So this is, I love this ribbon. The cat's attacking my foot. I love this ribbon. It kind of reminds me of like a jellyfish. So this is going to be like my center. And I want it kind of long, so I actually think I'm just going to go the length of my tray here. Then I'm going to cut that. Oh, now the cat's taking my ribbon. Go, Tiffy. Cat's trying to help. So there's that one. And then I think I'm going to put like 2 things of yarn in between each of the other ribbon. So I think I'm just going to make it a little bit shorter. Than that ribbon. So again, this part, I mean, this is all like your preference, how you want to do it. So I'm going to cut up some yarn and some ribbon, and when I get ready to attach it, I'll be back. Okay, so I have all of my ribbon cut. Here is all of my ribbon laid out how I'm pretty much how I'm going to put it on. My Ariel is dry on there, so she is good. And this thick ribbon, like this, the actual ribbon, I'm actually going to hot glue on. So this one is the center. So find that and set it down here. And then just put a little hot glue down the center part. And then just glue them together like so. So there's that. And then the yarn, I'm actually going to cut in half, and then I'll put a teal and purple on one side and a teal and purple on the other side. And hopefully they'll be a little bit shorter. That was my goal anyways. We'll see. So we're going to take those, and these will actually tie. Whoa, too close. We'll actually tie on here. And I will double knot it. I know it's kind of hard to see, but there. So, okay, that's a lot shorter. Clearly, I'm not very good at estimating. Okay. So that's all I'm going to do for that. So I will glue and tie the rest of these on here, and then show you the finished product. Alright, you guys, so that is the end of my craft tutorial. Here is the finished product. So there it is with all the ribbons attached down at the bottom. You can see very well. Here we go. There we go. The only thing that I wish I would have done differently is I wish I would have spaced the ears a little bit more, but you learn as you go. So, make sure you check out everybody else's video for the hashtag quarantine craft party. And if you want to check out everybody's crafts, you can go to Instagram and using the hashtag quarantine craft party, see everybody's stuff, because I think that's where a lot of it's going to be posted. And if you want to join in on the quarantine crafting, use that hashtag too. Let us see what you make. And other than that, make sure you check out my partner channels. And have a magical week, you guys. Bye.